Hey everyone, I'm Scott Cunningham, aka Scott C Business, and today we're here with Mark von Remnon, as I attempt to pronounce it. And
Hi,
he
Scott.
is the founder of Datafloq, and he's also working on a really cool project called Mavin. And we'll start off with Datafloq and then dive into Mavin. First, do you want to just tell everyone a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Hi, Scott. Great to be on your show. My name is Mark van Rijmenam. You pronounced it very well. I'm the founder, as you said, of Datafloq and Mavin. I'm the author of three management books on technology. So, first one, Thinking Bigger about big data. Second, Blockchain, about blockchain for social good. And the last one called The Organization of Tomorrow: How AI, Blockchain, and analytics turn every organization into a data organization. I give presentations around the world to help organizations understand these technologies. As I mentioned, I'm building two companies in this space as well.
Awesome, awesome. So I guess you're very, very busy. So what does your average day look like then?
That's a good question. My average day is there is no average day. It's
Yeah.
I have to travel a lot around the world for talks. I'm working on two different projects, which they are very much linked to each other, as we'll go through later on. But that takes up a lot of my time. I still do a lot of research myself. I write a lot. I talk a lot to a lot of people around the world. So I'm spending a lot of time on the phone across different time zones, which can be tiring at times, but it's always a great thing to do.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. If people don't realize watching, it's night here and it's morning there the next day. So we are doing that right now. So for people who don't know what Datafloq is, do you want to start off by giving a little introduction to that?
Sure. Datafloq.com is an online, or it's just a content platform where we share content around emerging technologies such as big data, blockchain, AI. There are around, I think, 500 to 600 authors from around the world who share their knowledge. We've just launched a complete redesign of the platform, simplified the platform, and started working with a sort of a tokenized approach to submitting articles, creating content on Datafloq. So the higher the quality of your articles, the higher your reputation, the more tokens you will earn. I have to say these are not yet crypto tokens because it's sort of a trial that we're doing. But it's really focused on creating high quality content for organizations, for users who are wanting to learn more about these technologies and how they change your business, and how you can benefit from these technologies as well.
Awesome. Awesome. So is there plans to potentially make those tokens into crypto tokens in the future? What is the situation there?
Yeah, well, absolutely. So that's the link with Maven, because basically Maven will be autonomous, decentralized reputation platform, which basically means we will allow users to rate content across the web. Any type of content, so short form content, tweets, comments, but also long form, such as investigative journalism or academic papers. And the higher the content, the quality, the higher reputation, the more Maven tokens you will be able to earn. And once we launch Maven officially, then you can exchange your Flock tokens, which are just sort of loyalty points at the moment, into true crypto Maven tokens. And we've just launched our MVP of Maven on Datafloq, which is a browser plugin that allows you to rate articles based on quality, fake news probability, and plagiarism probability. With that, you sort of you give every article a quality score, you give every author a reputation score, and that allows you also to find articles in our search engine based on the quality of the article, the fake news probability, as well as the reputation of the author, something that doesn't exist yet. Which is, I think, really interesting because it's, if you want to find the best author or you want to have more understanding and get more context whether something might be fake news or not, that's where Maven will come in. And we are currently testing it on Datafloq. So, with long story, yes, definitely the Flock tokens will be at some point, hopefully in the near future, be able to convert to true crypto tokens.
That's awesome. And yeah, I don't see very many projects out there that are really focused on content integrity and accountability. And the fact that you guys are doing that and integrating some cryptocurrency into it, I think is going to be really exciting for the space. And I'm sure a lot of people watching are going to be really interested in getting involved with that when that does launch. Do you have an approximate date of when that is going to be fully ready to go, or what does that look like right now?
It's a bit challenging. We're expecting the next 2 to 3 quarters. It's all depending on the funding. Maven.org will be a foundation, and we will launch at some point the security token offering to raise the funds to do so. What we're trying to do with Maven is really bringing some accountability to the web. We go one step further. We will allow anonymous accountability on the web, which doesn't exist yet. I think that's really, if you look at the web at the moment, I think we really have a trust problem. We really see that there's so much misinformation on the web. It's very unclear who you can trust. This morning I was reading an article about all the misinformation about the coronavirus. And that's really problematic. So we need to bring some accountability to the web, and once we do that, we can, I think, really stop fake news or limit fake news. We can limit bad bots. We can limit trolls. But more importantly, we can also allow people to remain anonymous, because I find your privacy online is crucial, and I don't want to live in a system where you have to you can't be anonymous anymore. So we combine the two: anonymous accountability using private smart contracts, ZK snarks. We will enable that, and I think that will really bring some benefits for the internet users.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because I think a lot of times the issue with trying to bring more accountability is, there's typically more of a approach on privacy. Like you need to give more, like you have KYC verification, or like there a lot of the methods currently trying to combat that sort of clash with a lot of the motivations behind cryptocurrency and blockchain. So I think that's really important that you guys are focusing on the anonymous factor, and you're not really, making any dent in privacy or taking any privacy away to be able to achieve that. So I think that's really huge. So I guess you kind of already talked about this, but what problem does Maven set out to solve then in the space?
Well, in general, the problem that there is no accountability on the web. There's this famous saying, very old, from I think 1993. On the internet, nobody knows if you're a dog, and that's fantastic, because you have people can say whatever you want online, and I think that's really important. We need to have this freedom of speech, but I think we need to improve the freedom of speech by bringing this accountability, so that we can limit the impact of fake news. We can limit bad bots. I think 20% of the internet traffic online are bad bots, and the way we envision our system is that, yes, you will have a KYC verified to be able to use the Maven technology, but once you're verified, that information is stored securely, and we don't do anything with that information, and you can then just create content online, and people can rate your content, and the expert ratings will have more weight than non-expert ratings. So we'll look into who are you, what's your background, what are your skills, and if you are a blockchain expert rating a blockchain article, then obviously that should have a higher rating than a non-blockchain expert rating an article on blockchain. Because we use this reputation, and for example, if you want to upvote the content, you need to pay a token. But if you have one Maven token to upvote the content, might cost you a few cents in the future. I don't know exactly. But if you are a bot and you want to upload 1 million articles, that all of a sudden is going to cost you a lot of money. Therefore, and that a bot can't be KYC verified. So therefore, you already start to limit the influence bots can have on the online discourse. And I think that's extremely important. We need to bring accountability to the web, because otherwise we have a serious problem with the internet as it is today.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point, where you would really just be preventing bots from like de-incentivizing them from being able to do what they would normally do with these different barriers that you've set up. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And yeah, like you said, like with a lot of fake news, and today I think the most common thing that I see is like rage bait, where it's kind of like fake or more clickbaity, but it's meant to just bring outrage, and then that gets a lot of clicks, because then people share it a lot. And just bringing more accountability to that is really, really crucial. So how did Datafloq and Maven get their names, and how did you originally like start these and get these started, and or like what was the idea or motivations behind that?
Yeah, sure. So Datafloq I started Datafloq about 7 years ago. Back then it was called Big Data Startups, and then I did a rebrand in 2014 because Datafloq is really focused around data, data technologies and how you can use these technologies in your business. And so data, flock, a flock of birds, flock of data, that's sort of how Datafloq came together. If you look at Mavin, a Maven is a trusted expert that wants to share their knowledge with a wider community. It makes very much sense. The name Maven links very well to our vision, where we want to have trusted experts who share their knowledge in a trusted way, that we can trust what people say, or if people share misinformation, we know it is misinformation, and then we ourselves can decide what to do with it. I think Maven is really tries to be this reputable network of trusted experts, and that's what a Maven is.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense in terms of how you came up with the name for that. So, where would you say that Datafloq and Maven will fit in with the ecosystem of other platforms or services rather, or websites that are sort of similar, or how is it like uniquely different? I would say that probably Maven is probably one of the few or only ones in the space, but if you'd like to speak a little to that.
Yeah, sure. So Datafloq is an ordinary content platform around technology. There are dozens of them, but we do have now, I think, kind of a unique approach that we are testing. This, we use really at the moment simple AI to determine the quality of an article. Users on Datafloq, authors on Datafloq already have a reputation. The higher reputation, the higher article quality, the more tokens you can earn. So with that, we already are different from the majority of the centralized platform, because in the end, Datafloq is also this centralized platform. Maven, as you already mentioned, will be fundamentally different, and we will use Datafloq really as a test case for everything that we will develop on Maven. We already see that with the browser plugin. If you go to datafloq.com/plugin, you will be able to download our browser plugin, which really is the MVP of Maven. And then you can experiment with rating articles, earning some tokens, and that helps really understand how people will use this, how people will interact with it. And we will continue to do so. And when we have developed our API to bring the Maven features native to the browser plugin features native to websites, we will first test it on Datafloq to see how that works. Yes, there are two different platforms. Datafloq is a centralized commercial platform. Maven will be a decentralized, not-for-profit foundation, but they really help each other.
Awesome. Yeah, that makes sense. So where do you see Maven going in the next, like say after it releases? Where would you hope to see it in like a year from now, or rather a year after it releases, and then maybe in like 5 years, if everything works out really well? How would you like to see that like in 5 years from now?
Yeah. So our vision really is that in 5 years, the saying still goes, on the internet, nobody knows if you're a dog, but at least you would know if it is a good dog. That's sort of what we hope to achieve. That we can really bring this accountability, and we can spread the Maven network across all kinds of centralized platforms. So we bring Maven to a large publisher, a large newspaper, where then people can publish maybe anonymous on that platform. So you can have a journalist publish investigative journalism anonymously, and we can know that we can trust the person who wrote it. Now, last year, I think 250 journalists were jailed, I think, because of problems in the world. That's a huge problem. And with Maven, hopefully in 5 years' time, journalists can publish anonymously if they want. We know that the source is reputable. We know that the anonymous journalist can even make money with it if he or she wants. So we really bring some accountability, but we'll allow people to be private, and we'll help people understand what is reputable content and what is not.
Yeah, I think that's huge, especially for countries that don't have full free speech, that you help empower that, as well as even help reward them and let them monetize that anonymously. I think that's really, really important to sort of help empower that free speech and do that with cryptocurrency and block decentralized way. I think that's really, really awesome. So what are some next like is there any big updates in the works for Maven right now that that we don't know of, or something new that you're bringing to Datafloq? Is there anything coming out in the works or anything that you could share with us?
Well, at the moment we're looking for funding, so for Maven. So if there's anyone, who believes in that we need to bring accountability to the web, please reach out to us through Maven.org or Datafloq.com, because that would sort of really helps us. We are currently looking where we would start our foundation. Because of course we have to look at the legal aspects of what's good from a crypto perspective, whether it's Switzerland or Singapore or somewhere else. So that's what we're working on. And once we have arranged that, we'll take away the browser plugin from Datafloq and we'll bring it to native to Maven. And then once we launch that, we'll launch the Maven token and we'll go from there. But only 2 or 3 weeks ago, we launched a complete redesign of Datafloq. Of course, we will continue to improve Datafloq with new features and new tools. But we're still really learning how people are using the browser plugin, how people are experimenting with it. So that's already very, very exciting.
Awesome. So where can everyone go to learn more about both of these projects?
Sure. So if you go to datafloq.com, Datafloq with a Q, then you can just browse around and read all the various articles. If you go to maven.org, that will currently still forward to datafloq.com/plugin. And we are at the moment working on the website of Maven to be launched hopefully in the next couple of weeks. And you can find information about both projects on there, or you can reach out to me through mark@maven.org or mark@datafloq.com, and I'm happy to chat to anyone.
Awesome. And you also said that you guys have a browser plugin as well for Datafloq, correct?
Yeah, correct. So that's awesome. The one we have currently, which is our MVP of Maven. So we currently have a Chrome version available and the Firefox version. Edge and Safari are coming. So you can download that, register with Datafloq, and you can start reading articles across the web. We use partially AI, a very simplified version of AI to give an AI score. And then the more people who rate articles, the better it becomes, obviously. If you have only 10 people say something, I'd rather have 100 or 1,000 or even more people give a rating on an article. It's basically like an IMDb, but then for written content, where people can rate articles, and then we have a search engine on Datafloq to find those articles based on the quality of the article or the reputation of the author or the fake news probability. So I think that's extremely powerful, because if you want to find the best author on, let's say, blockchain, you have to do a lot of research yourself. But I think if we can use the crowd to crowdsource reputation for and quality of articles, I think that's very, very powerful.
Yeah, no doubt. So where can they follow you and Datafloq, and if you eventually make a handle for Maven, like what are the Twitter handles that they could follow? So, and any other social platforms as well?
Yeah, so we are predominantly on Twitter. So Twitter is just Datafloq. For my personal Twitter is at Rijmenam. Maven is Maven_org. We're working on those. We are on LinkedIn actively, so that's where people can find us. But I think maybe it would be good to have these links in the description under the video, so people can immediately go there.
Yeah, definitely. I'll definitely add those. And those are all the questions that I had. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with the audience before we end this off?
Yeah, sure. I think it's first of all, thanks for having me on the show, and to share with me with your audience and your blockchain enthusiasts, crypto enthusiasts, our work that we are doing with Maven. We can't get Maven off the ground by ourselves. We need help from the community to build it, to fund it, but there's also predominantly to use it. Because reputation and bringing accountability to web only works if the crowd participates. Without ratings, verified ratings, there is no accountability. So I really would like to ask the help of your community in getting this off the ground, and to bring some accountability to the web, bring some anonymous accountability to the web, and with that, improve the web in general.
Yeah, awesome. All right, well, you heard it here first. If you want to join this project, get a part of anonymous accountability, and maybe help fund or just participate in the project, definitely check it out. I will have all the links below. Make sure to follow him. Also, check out his books. He's written 3 already, and there's probably more to come for all we know. So again, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it, and I'm sure everyone can benefit from checking this out and probably learned a little about your projects and what's out there.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Scott. Thank you very much.